Well, here's another one from In the Worst City Ever. Squish Briscoe wants to know, what was it like getting to feud with Buddy Rogers over the Nature Boy name? What promoter or booker impressed you or helped you the most? So we'll talk about the promoters secondly. The first one, though, getting to work with Buddy Rogers. Haven't spent a lot of time talking about him on the show here.
Well, first of all, Buddy was in his day the man. Buddy Rogers is the first guy to do high spots. Did you know that?
I did.
And he traveled around the country with a guy named Billy Darnell. Do you know that?
I did not.
Guy named Billy Darnell. You can Google him and I'll look at him. And Buddy, they traveled. They had a match worked out, and it was a great match in that time frame, right? But Buddy had a phenomenal physique. He had a phenomenal look. I mean, much better physique than me. Always tan, which that's the one thing that impressed me. Always tan. Nobody even thought about tanning until Lex Luger came along. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, here's guys like me and Aaron and Tully are laying in the goddamn suntan bed every day, just trying to keep up with it. I mean, everybody brought something at a different time in our careers, and I know Aaron to this day. I'm sure Aaron's still tanned. It's a habit you get. Me, I can't do it anymore because I put so much of that damn spray tan on over the years that I mean, I have to take a antihistamine now to put it on. It's not worth it.
Wow.
So if I don't get it off my boat in natural sun, I don't do it anymore. But everybody brought something to the business. I mean, and then getting back to Aaron and I and Barry and Tully, I'm sure we did our workout because Aaron was diligent about working out. Tully was diligent. Like Tully would do the 500 free squats with me, step ups, everything. Barry would just do his own thing, and man, we got to the building that night, and we all somehow got through our day and did our thing, and went out and laughed and drank, and started the next day up again too. I can remember seeing Aaron one day. We pulled up in Baltimore one day. And I literally had about three nervous breakdowns that Aaron witnessed. I slept at the foot of his bed. We came back from that. Do you know this story?
No.
I go, me and Aaron are going to see our wives in Mexico Beach. And I said, Aaron, can I stay with you tonight? It was after 6 days at, what do you call it, the Great American Bash on tour.
Right.
We'd been gone 46 days, and we're going to see our wives in Mexico Beach. And I was so flipped. I mean, I flipped a couple of times. I said, Aaron, can I stay with you? And he said, yeah, what's wrong with you? I said, I don't know. I'm just not feeling right. I think by the time it was over, I was sleeping at the foot of his bed.
Oh my.
Now we fly down to America, and Beth has told me about this guy with this elaborate boat and all this, right? We get down there, it's 110 degrees. And Arnold looked at the boat, and he looked at me and said, what? That doesn't even have air conditioning. I never heard the end of that either. Good Lord. I'm sorry. I owe a lot of apologies. Oh, shit. Oh, God. Another time, Arn knew I was flipped, and I was wrestling Junkyard Dog around the loop, right? And Arn went and rented a white van. like a, I can't remember what he wrote on the side of it, but him and Kevin Sullivan. I mean, then Sullivan had to take me home from that trip too.